For this new route, London Gatwick, that we're launching this Sunday, 18th May 2025, we have carefully designed our in-flight menu to reflect the soul of Uganda and sophistication of international travel. From traditional delicacies like smoked beef luombo, steamed pumpkin, to fine wine pairings and homegrown coffee, this menu celebrates our heritage and our global outlook. We can't wait to serve you on board.
On the Entebbe London Maiden flight, we shall be serving 2 cabin classes depending on the flight timings. That is business and economy class, whereby on business we shall be having the breakfast service and the lunch service. On the breakfast service, we shall be having a fruit as a salad, then we shall have hot meal 1, that will be our katogo, famous katogo. Then on hot meal 2, we shall have an egg option. Then hot meal 3, we shall have a sweet option. That will also be accompanied with drinks on board and a second snack on board. Then when we go to economy class will also be the same like business but different in the meals. So we shall have a fruit on the plate, and we shall have hot meal 1 as an egg option and hot meal 2 as a sweet option.
As a partner of Uganda Airlines, we are looking forward and we are very excited, to open this new connection, this new route. And I have to explain to you why we are so excited. Because we open a new connection to London, and because we, Uganda Airlines, we will write a new page in the history of Uganda Airlines. We will write a new page in the book of Uganda. So we are proud to be a partner of Uganda Airlines. Don't wait to serve you on board.
It's an exciting time because Uganda did not have a single direct flight out of any European country. And this is going to be the first, and I hope it's not the last, because without flights, you're actually out of business. That's what actually it means. But I can also tell you that there's not many airlines in the world that have a good service, good pilots, good service, in-flight services like Uganda Airlines. This airline would be the best airline in this region. My name is Amos Wekesa of Great Lakes Safaris and Great Lakes Collections. Right now I'm having so many friends of mine in the UK who are saying we want to bring in peeled matoke to the UK, we want to bring in potatoes. So many of the tour operators in the UK are also excited about the route, and they want to send more tourists. Now you can just leave London in the morning on a Sunday, do a trip for 7 days and fly back on a Monday without losing time connecting through other countries. So, and Uganda, having the UK as its #1 source market, we can move from 11,000 to at least 50,000, because Kenya is already doing 180 English people as tourists. We can actually get 10% within the next 1 or 2 years if we're very serious, but we need to market, we need to push this agenda slightly more than we're doing right now. A national carrier has primarily 2 major reasons. #1 is to bring in consumers from the source markets, people who are willing to pay more. #2 is to take our products to the consumers. So without a national carrier, you can't achieve that. And that is one of the reasons why we have very little trade between us and other countries. It's because of connectivity. Whether it's with Kenya, the amount of time you have to take on a road, or with the UK, the amount of time that you have to do connections, that was killing the opportunities. I think my desire now and my advice is that now young people, instead of complaining, they should start seeing where they can tap into when these things are now happening.
Today, Uganda Airlines launches a new route, marking the 17th route since its commencement 5 years ago. A route from Entebbe International Airport to Gatwick, London. You can see an Airbus A330-800neo, and of course it sits about 258 passengers who are a part of the inaugural flight to London Gatwick today. Traveling for about 9.5 hours, coming from a whole total of 16 hours that was previously the time that was used to fly to Uganda from London. In command of this flight is Senior Captain Sam Masaba, Captain Clive Okoth, and First Officer Martin Jichi. Many Ugandans are excited. We had some officials and Ugandans, the Indian community, the High Commissioner, Her Excellency Lisa Chesner, some ministers from Uganda who are part of the Airbus Neo, headed to London Gatwick to launch this new flight and to start off. Many Ugandans that want to be a part of this and have also found a solution for their long layovers, stopovers, and can easily come home. One is able to travel 4 times a week actually, and that is on Friday, Wednesday, Sunday, and Tuesdays, for one to actually be able to move from London to Entebbe or from Entebbe to London.
Don't cross the line, my friend. Don't cross the line. Here.
We're still a part of this event where Uganda Airlines has its inaugural flight to London Gatwick. The first flight to London Gatwick, and hopefully more flights to come. It marks the 17th flight of Uganda Airlines since they started to be in the business 5 years ago. With me is Mr. Fred Bamwesige, Director General of CAA, and we of course want to know what role maybe CAA has played in making sure that this is a success. A very good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, viewers.
Mr. Bamwesige, what role have you played as CAA Director to make sure that this happens?
CAA is a regulator of all civil aviation in Uganda, but it also operates airports, including Entebbe International Airport. So as a regulator, we have had a protracted regulation of Uganda Airlines to make sure that it meets aviation standards and recommended practices. It cannot be allowed anywhere, to fly anywhere, without assurance that it meets all global aviation standards and recommended practices. And the job to oversight that is Uganda Civil Aviation Authority. As an airport operator, we have to put everything in place, especially making sure the safety of the aircraft the safety of passengers of Uganda Airlines, but also other passengers of Entebbe International Airport, but also of the airports where they are going. You know, aviation is global.
Yes.
It must meet standards that are also acknowledged by the UK Civil Aviation Authority and UK Airports Authority.
Was there anything special that they asked that maybe was not yet done with all the other airports that the UK specifically wanted for this to go through as a new route?
Yes, over and above the requirements of aviation, UK requires additional measures. For instance, you have seen up there that there has been a dedicated gate for Uganda Airlines going to UK.
Yes.
That dedicated gate must be checked 30 minutes before any flight is allowed. Passengers coming. The passengers are subjected to additional checks. Same with the baggage, same with the cargo that are being thrown into this particular Uganda Airlines. And those are additional measures that the UK wants. And we have done that. Even the type of equipment, like body scanners, are also, first of all, certified by the UK Civil Aviation Agency. And all those who have met them. We have been meeting security standards all over the place.
Yes.
They are ICAO security standards. But mark you, these are additional to ICAO. And that's why this delayed. That is on one part. But there are also other regulatory issues regarding safety. The airworthiness, the way the airline is managed from the top, the chief executive, to the safety manager, to the quality assurance manager, all those have been checked by Uganda Civil Aviation Authority. It is a whole package of standards and recommended practices that must be made. And that has been our preoccupation all through. That is not enough, let me tell you.
Okay.
We must maintain them. And any other that
What
come
happens
in
if you
place,
don't maintain them?
then the flight is tampered with, is stopped. And there are many examples in the region.
Really?
Actually, this is an additional responsibility. Yes. So we are all alert. That's why we see we are all here. You have seen stringent checks up there. They are going to be maintained. And any other that will be imposed, because these are not just static. When there is a level of threat that increases, we must also increase the checking.
Speaking away from the position as a director of CAA, but now speaking from a place of a Ugandan, do you think would this actually be considered a success story?
A very huge success.
Why so?
And why? You are going to take 9 hours going into UK. Previously, you'd use other airlines. They ferry you into the airports. If it is Emirates, you must go through Dubai. If it is KLM, we must go through Amsterdam. And there are times of delays. If it is a perishable, like we all produce perishables here, tomatoes and other things, they will definitely have to be subjected to those delays. And you know what perishables are. Those going for businesses, they are not going direct if they go through other airports. This is a huge success. Are you aware that you can have your tomatoes here or pineapples, get them this morning into the aircraft, fly into UK, and you'll have them at lunchtime?
Fresh food?
Yes, organic. Everybody is waiting for that.
Yes.
That's how serious this matter is. And that is, of course, on top of how business people, how quick they will catch up with their businesses, or conferences or whatever, in UK. It is a huge success. And all Ugandans must wake up to it and use this opportunity to do business, to travel faster than they have been, support the airline, to help them to do all this business. That's why we are here and we are excited about it. Not that we are not excited about other routes, but this one has been long overdue. Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Welcome.
That was Mr. Fred Bamwesjo, Director General of CAA. and a part of the team that made sure that this is possible, what the requirements were, what did the UK want as additional requirements, whether it was security. Actually, as we were getting into the airport and coming down to the tarmac, the security is a bit stringent, which he exactly noted and said, because this is a different route and they have specific needs and different needs. Security is such a big deal, not that other airlines do not really care about that, or other countries, but while this was being discussed and for Uganda Airlines to have this route commence, those were some of the things that they asked for, and CAA made sure that Uganda Airlines meets them, and today we get to be a part of the inaugural flight or watch as Uganda Airlines launches its 17th route from Entebbe International Airport to London for just 9.5 hours. We'll still continue with the live and we'll show you what is still going on as we wait to see and experience and be a part of this beautiful moment in Uganda. Yeah. ari mu kusinika amanyira. As you can see, there's a bit of a crowd, people very excited, elated, holding placards, Speaking of Uganda Airlines and London, a non-stop trip from Entebbe International Airport. And of course, the quote there being bridging opportunities with non-stop connections across Africa and the world. A sense of pride is what you feel when you're around these people. They're very excited, they're very happy to be a part of this moment and also to be a part of the team that is celebrating and has gotten an opportunity to witness the inaugural flight to London Gatwick. One of the things you clearly hear while people are having conversations, some don't want to be on camera, but most of them are speaking about the opportunities that are going to come with this new route. And the opportunities being that whether it's trade, whether it's tourism, we expect more tourists into the country, increasing on what we will get as a country. Also, whether it is trade, for us to get more people doing business in and out of Uganda. So those two are indeed opportunities that people can't wait to unlock because of this new route to London.
I am on the countdown to the maiden flight between Entebbe and Gatwick, and I am so excited. It's very early and I will be starting my day with a very strong cup of Ugandan coffee. The thing that I'm really excited about, the flight's not a convenience, it's not just about the time, the reduction in time it takes to get to the UK. It's about a connection. It's about a connection between UK and Uganda. It's a connection between our people. It means that on both sides, people have got an opportunity to see friends and family that they love more often. I'm Lisa Chesney and I'm the British High Commissioner to Uganda. Welcome. I see this really as a win-win, both for the UK and Uganda. So for British businesses, I think they're getting excited about faster access, better access to East African markets. And for our Ugandan exporters, for our Ugandan farmers, it means access to, I think, one of the most sophisticated consumer economies in the world. Well, let's talk about fruit and vegetables to start with. I am a big fan of Ugandan avocados and pineapples. And I would say the UK is a major market, a major consumer market for agricultural produce. Let's have a look at that. So to put this into context, the tea and coffee market in the UK is worth over £1 billion. Fruit and vegetables accounts for a really significant share of our £150 billion market, our food and beverage market. So I think there's huge opportunity essentially for Ugandan products there, because Uganda supplies really only a portion of that right now. So there's about £8.7 million of fruit and vegetables from Uganda at the moment, and just over 2.8 million, I think, on the coffee side. So I think the direct route can really help us scale that up. For British consumers, I think there is a potential for them to access fresher, more diverse produce, potentially even lower cost on their supermarket shelves. And for our Ugandan farmers and our exporters, it's the chance for integration and the chance to be really a regular supplier to a high value market. I'm really looking forward to get on that maiden flight, and for the estimated 50-odd thousand Ugandans that are living in the UK, this flight is more than just a convenience, it's actually a connection. So Ugandans that are living in the UK, they tell me that this for them is about strengthening their family ties, seeing more of people that they love. It's about simplifying their travel so they arrive less exhausted. But importantly, it's also about opening doors for trade and business and new opportunities. And so the flight will be a link that reinforces emotional ties and economic ties too. For our British population, for them it's an opportunity to really explore tourism, cultural ties, business and trade opportunities. I cannot wait to see Ugandan products that I love, coffee, avocados and pineapples, on the shelves in the UK. I really look forward to seeing you in London.
We have sold over 3,000 tickets already, with tickets even up until next year. People have started to buy tickets for their summer vacation. People are buying tickets for December. People in diaspora especially who are planning to come home for December. Tickets up all the way to 2026. And we've seen a very, very good uptake of the service that we will be offering on this route. Hello everyone, my name is Adedayo Olawuyi. I serve as the Chief Commercial Officer at Uganda Airlines. The London route for Uganda Airlines is a game changer. The one thing we've seen from the forward loads already is the fact that we were very right with considering connections for the flight. So we've seen a lot of connections. So we are not just serving the Entebbe to London market, we are also serving all the other destinations that we fly as a network. We announced that we will be starting flights to London Gatwick with 4 flights a week. We will be flying on Sundays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We'll be having an inaugural flight from Entebbe International Airport to London Gatwick Airport. The flight is scheduled for 9:25 a.m. Check-in will open 5 hours before, so by 4:25 a.m. check-in will be open. Check-in will close an hour 30 minutes before departure, just to ensure we're able to finish all departure formalities and get the flight out on time. Gatwick operations, we will be flying into the South Terminal. The South Terminal actually has a train station just 2 minutes walk that is attached to the terminal, and within 20 minutes on the Gatwick Express you'll find yourself in the center of London. So on our service to London, we are able to take you to Gatwick, and within 20 minutes you are in the center of London and close to wherever is your final destination within the London area. We've seen a myriad of people who have been booking tickets. Primarily, we've seen a lot of VFRs. Those are those who are visiting friends and relatives. Those are people from the diaspora. We've seen a lot of business people, people who are conducting business between the United Kingdom and Uganda and the East African environs that we also serve. We've seen a lot of people who are tourists who will be coming home. Last week we visited top tourist providers in the UK, and we got a lot of feedback already. We've seen students, people who are studying in the UK, who are now looking at an opportunity to be able to come home more often. As we know, we have a lot of students here for tertiary institutions in the UK. So it's been a mix of different people in general. We are very excited. It's our 17th route. We cannot wait to welcome you on board, because without you, there is no us. Thank you.
It's a game changer for us as an airline, because it brings a different view to the network. I bring you greetings from Entebbe, Uganda. My name is Jennifer Bamturaki Musime, and I'm the CEO of Uganda Airlines. We look forward to welcoming our guests aboard Uganda Airlines on our first flight to London, Gatwick, on the 18th of May, 2025. I'm here to inform all of you that our flight will be leaving Entebbe at 9:20 a.m. And we're excited to be able to offer this direct service from Entebbe to London. More so because we've been working on this for over 5 years. And here we are finally. We are ready to take you without any intermediary point direct into Gatwick. Uganda Airlines is where you experience Uganda first. The people who are serving you, the people who are, the hospitality on board. So we are looking forward to showcasing our country on board before you really get touchdown in Entebbe. My colleagues and I at the airline are looking forward to 18th May 2025, when we make our first flight to London Gatwick. The preparations, the readiness that we have at the airline is exceptional. We can't wait to showcase right from check-in to when you come on board, our crew, our pilots, our engineers, everybody at check-in, the passenger team is all waiting for our guests to arrive on board. We can't wait to showcase our cuisine for the route and for that day. We look forward to serving you organic food from the heart of Uganda. We can't wait to welcome you aboard Uganda Airlines.
Today on a beautiful chilly Sunday at the airport, 18th of May, 2025. And the Airbus, Uganda Airlines, is actually set to leave Entebbe International Airport, headed for London Gatwick. The Airbus A330-800 Neo with about 258 passengers, and in command Senior Captain Sam Masaba, Captain Clive Okoth, and the First Officer Martin Jichi, is being prepared to set off and leave Entebbe International Airport as the inaugural flight to Gatwick, London. This morning, Uganda Airlines launches its first direct flight to London Gatwick, and more government officials say will spark trade, tourism and investment between the two countries. On the maiden flight, UR110 pushed back. It was supposed to leave at 10:25, but now 7 minutes past 10. With so many people ululating, excited for this great milestone, and looking all beautiful and prepared, ready to leave. After this, for anyone that wants to use Uganda Airlines from Entebbe International Airport, can always book in for a Sunday flight, Tuesday, Friday, and Wednesday. For them to travel for just within 9 hours and a half, and for them to be in London. You can actually travel in a week and be back in that same week, because this direct flight has cut off over 7 or more hours. Something that other passengers or people have been facing before, having more layovers, stopovers, being taken to the countries that have their planes situated in those very countries. But today that changes. History is being made as Uganda Airlines launches its inaugural flight. And from today onwards, we can now say one traveling to London is just a few hours and someone is able to be back the next day or that very week. Now this will be the longest sector in the carrier's network at 6,464 kilometers, because this is the longest route that actually Uganda Airlines has on their roadmap, on their travel map. The services will run 4 times a week, that is Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday, linking Uganda to the United Kingdom in just over 9 hours, a great achievement. In command of this flight is Senior Captain Sam Masaba, Captain Clive Okoth and First Officer Martin Jichi, our very own, born and raised in Uganda, flying the crane to all other destinations, but for today, to London Gatwick. board is the CEO, Uganda Airlines, Jennifer Mturaki, the British High Commissioner, I beg your pardon, Her Excellency Lisa Chestnut, amongst other officials like from the Ministry of Trade, of Finance, Permanent Secretary, Gobi, and so many others who are traveling to be a part of this beautiful moment as Uganda launches its first inaugural flight to London Gatwick. Ladies and gentlemen, history is being made. And today marks the very first day, but not the end. Instead, the beginning of a new era where Uganda Airlines has added one more route, marking or making it 17 routes so far. That is a part of the map as they get Ugandans to now travel easily within 9 hours. This isn't just another flight on the schedule, it's a gateway to opportunity. And for business people, traders, and the Ugandan diaspora, it means easier, faster, and more affordable access to one of Europe's busiest cities. And for the tourism and export sectors, this route opens new corridors of growth and visibility for our Pearl of Africa. As for the passengers boarding today, or who are on board actually, the excitement is electric. There's a sense of pride, of movement, of being a part of something bigger. Uganda Airlines is not only spreading its wings today, but it's carrying the aspirations of a nation. And given that they've been in the business for just 5 years, clearly we can say good job, and the future is bright.
That's on. So, a launching for the first time Uganda Airlines. Yeah, here.
are photographers, but you have a license. I know they had Uganda. Yeah? I'm going to trouble. I don't want to do that. When I sign out. Bernard! I just here? Is it on? Well, thank you so much for being a part of the live. We're live from Entebbe International Airport, where Uganda Airlines was launching its inaugural flight to Gatwick, London. 257 people on the aircraft. Well, in line with what it has prepared for the last 5 years, Uganda Airlines has been in existence, but this is the 17th route that they've added onto the 16 that they've already had in operation. Whoever wants to travel is able to move on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday and Sunday. The Airbus A330-800neo just left with passengers, with officials and so many other people that have been a part of this inaugural celebration and a big event. Now, while it has been 16 hours for one to travel, now someone is able to move to London in just 9 hours. Thank you so much for watching. Support Uganda Airlines, be a part of it. It has been a very beautiful moment. People were really excited, whether it was the people who were traveling or people at the airport. We've had people and crowds ululating and jubilating because of this beautiful experience, and knowing that this is not just the beginning, but a door that is going to help foster development through trade, through tourism. Ugandans are able to come back home in a week, in just a few hours, are able to travel back in just a few hours. Families are able to move around easily now, and we also expect a lot of growth. I'll just quote something that the High Commission, Her Excellency, actually said, Her Excellency Lisa Chesner. She said that, coffee being one of the greatest exports that we have in Uganda, but also a great cash crop, this is going to be such a big, beautiful moment for Uganda to increase on how much it makes and all. Because of time, that's all we had for you. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Thanks for watching.